Have you ever walked away from helping someone feeling more drained than fulfilled? Like no matter how much of your time, energy, or kindness you give, it's never enough. Here's the truth no one likes to admit: helping others is a beautiful thing, but not everyone is deserving of your help. Some people will take until there's nothing left of you to give. Today, we're diving into a life-changing lesson inspired by the wisdom of Denzel Washington: how the power of discernment and the courage to set boundaries can protect your peace and transform your life. This is motivation for success. Stick around, because what you'll discover today might just be the key to taking back your energy and living with purpose. Denzel Washington once said, "Don't be afraid to lose people. Be afraid of losing yourself by trying to please everyone around you." Take a moment to let that sink in. How often do we exhaust ourselves, bending over backward to help others, only to find that our efforts go unappreciated, or worse, taken for granted? These words hold a profound truth we often choose to ignore: not everyone who asks for your help truly values it, and some people are in your life only to drain you. Let's pause here. Think about your own life. Have you ever had a friend who only seems to call when they're in trouble, needing a favor? Or a family member who expects your support as though it's their entitlement, never pausing to express gratitude or return the effort? If your head is nodding right now, you're not alone. These situations are all too common, and they carry a price far greater than the time or energy you give. They cost you something irreplaceable: your peace. Here's the hard truth: being a helper doesn't mean saying yes to everyone. Helping people who don't respect your efforts isn't kindness, it's self-neglect. Denzel Washington's wisdom teaches us that discernment is not selfish, it's survival. Imagine pouring water into a cup with no bottom. No matter how much you pour, it's never enough to fill it. That's what helping the wrong people feels like. You exhaust your resources while they take and take, leaving you drained and empty. Washington emphasizes this point with his advice: know when to help, and know when to walk away. But how do we know when to draw that line? Let's explore this together. Start by asking yourself these questions: does this person genuinely value my help? Do they make an effort to improve their situation, or do they rely on me as a crutch? Are they taking my support for granted, or do they reciprocate with respect and appreciation? When you take the time to reflect on these questions, you'll often find that the answers are already clear. Now, let's talk about why discernment is not only necessary but also empowering. When you choose to help those who truly value your support, you create meaningful connections. Your efforts make a real impact, and the people you help are inspired to grow and better themselves. But when you allow yourself to be a constant resource for those who exploit your kindness, you teach them that it's okay to depend on others without contributing or showing gratitude. In the long run, this pattern not only harms you but also stunts their personal growth. Think about this: have you ever walked away from a situation where you felt your efforts were wasted? How did that make you feel? Frustrated? Resentful? Maybe even used? These emotions are natural because deep down, we know our energy is precious. Yet, when we ignore these feelings and continue to give without discernment, we lose something far more important than time: we lose ourselves. Denzel Washington reminds us that protecting our peace isn't just an act of self-care, it's a necessity. Don't be afraid to lose people, he says. Be afraid of losing yourself. These words aren't about shutting people out but about creating space for the right people, the ones who uplift you, respect you, and value your presence in their lives. So, here's your challenge: pause and evaluate the relationships in your life. Are you giving your energy to those who genuinely deserve it, or are you pouring into cups that will never be full? If the answer feels uncomfortable, it's time to make a change. Remember, saying no isn't rejection, it's redirection. It's choosing to channel your energy where it truly matters. You deserve relationships that enrich your life, not drain it. The key is discernment, and it starts with valuing yourself enough to protect your peace. As you move forward, take Denzel Washington's advice to heart. Know when to help, and just as importantly, know when to walk away. Because sometimes, the most powerful act of kindness is learning to say no. Let's take a closer look at Denzel Washington's timeless wisdom. He teaches us a crucial lesson: the people who drain your energy often fall into distinct categories. Understanding these groups is your first step toward protecting your peace and reclaiming control over your life. Let's break it down. First, we have the perpetual victims. These are the people who always seem to have a problem. Their lives are a series of never-ending crises, one after another, but here's the catch: they're not interested in finding solutions. No matter how much advice or help you offer, it's never enough. They'll nod, agree, and even thank you, but they'll be back tomorrow with the same issues, expecting you to solve them. Denzel Washington sums it up perfectly: you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. And isn't that the truth? It's not your job to carry someone who refuses to take responsibility for their own life. You're not abandoning them when you step away, you're simply recognizing that your energy is better spent on people who are ready to grow, change, and take accountability. Remember, saving someone is impossible if they're not willing to help themselves. Next, let's talk about the chronic complainers. These are the people who thrive on negativity. Have you ever had a conversation with someone who always finds a problem with everything? Their job, their relationships, the weather, nothing ever seems good enough. These individuals don't want solutions, they want to share their misery. And worse, their negativity has a way of seeping into your mood, dragging you down without you even realizing it. Helping chronic complainers without setting boundaries is like carrying a bucket with holes. No matter how much positivity or support you pour in, it leaks out just as fast. Denzel Washington's advice here is simple but powerful: you can't let someone else's negativity become your reality. Protect your peace by recognizing when a complainer isn't looking for help but just an outlet for their frustrations. You can listen with compassion, but don't let their endless complaints drain your energy. Now, perhaps the most challenging group: the manipulators. These individuals know exactly how to twist your emotions to serve their own needs. They use guilt as a weapon, saying things like, "If you really cared, you'd do this for me," or "I thought you were better than that." Sound familiar? Their tactics are designed to make you feel like the bad guy for setting boundaries or saying no. Denzel Washington's advice here is gold: don't let anyone manipulate your kindness. True respect doesn't come with strings attached. Manipulators don't see your kindness as a gift, they see it as something to exploit. That's why it's crucial to stand firm and remember that your worth is not determined by how much you do for others, especially those who twist your generosity into obligation. The beauty of Washington's insights is that they empower you to take control of your relationships. Recognizing these groups isn't about shutting people out or being unkind. It's about drawing a line between helping others and losing yourself in the process. By identifying the perpetual victims, chronic complainers, and manipulators in your life, you can start to make choices that protect your energy, prioritize your well-being, and focus on the people who truly value your support. Ask yourself, are you pouring into buckets with no bottom? Are you letting guilt, complaints, or crises dictate how you spend your time? If the answer is yes, it's time to take a step back. Protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's the foundation for living a life filled with purpose, positivity, and genuine connection. Denzel's message is clear: don't let anyone manipulate, drain, or take advantage of your kindness. Instead, choose wisely, because your energy is worth more than you know. Imagine this scenario: you're on a plane, cruising through the clouds, when the cabin pressure suddenly drops. The flight attendant instructs you, put on your oxygen mask before helping others. At first, it might sound counterintuitive. Shouldn't helping others come first? But there's a profound truth in this instruction: you can't help anyone else if you're running out of air yourself. Now, let's bring that same principle down to earth and apply it to your daily life. Your energy, your peace, your mental well-being, they're your oxygen mask. If you're constantly giving to others without taking care of yourself, it's only a matter of time before you burn out. The more depleted you are, the less you have to offer to the people and causes that truly matter. Denzel Washington captures this perfectly: you can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first, or you'll have nothing left to give. Think about that for a moment. How many times have you found yourself running on empty, stretching yourself too thin, or feeling overwhelmed because you prioritized everyone else's needs over your own? It's not selfish to focus on your well-being, it's necessary. This is where boundaries come in. Boundaries are often misunderstood as walls that keep people out, but they're not barriers, they're gates. Gates that open for the right people and close to protect what matters most: your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. Setting boundaries isn't about pushing people away, it's about ensuring that the people in your life respect and value your efforts. Ask yourself, who are you allowing to take up space in your life? Are they building you up, supporting your growth, and enriching your experience? Or are they pulling you down, draining your energy, and leaving you feeling depleted? It's not an easy question to answer, but it's a necessary one. Because the truth is, not everyone deserves access to your energy. Let's break it down further. Picture your life as a garden. Every interaction, every relationship, and every commitment you make is like a seed you plant. Some seeds grow into beautiful flowers, bringing joy and positivity to your life. Others become weeds, consuming your resources and suffocating the flowers you've worked so hard to nurture. Boundaries are the tools that help you tend to your garden. They allow you to remove the weeds while giving the flowers the space and care they need to thrive. Denzel Washington's advice challenges us to reevaluate our relationships and commitments. He asks us to reflect: am I giving my energy to people who truly value it, or am I allowing others to drain me? If someone consistently takes without giving back, if they bring negativity without contributing to your well-being, it's time to close the gate. This doesn't mean cutting people off harshly, it means prioritizing your health, happiness, and peace. It's time to make a change. Start small. Look at your calendar for the week ahead. Identify one commitment or relationship that feels draining rather than fulfilling. Ask yourself, is this adding value to my life? If the answer is no, it might be time to set a boundary. Whether it's saying no to an obligation that overwhelms you or limiting time with someone who pulls you down, these actions are steps toward reclaiming your energy. Remember, your well-being is your oxygen mask. Putting it on first doesn't mean you don't care about others, it means you're ensuring you're strong enough to help when it truly matters. As Denzel Washington reminds us, take care of yourself first, or you'll have nothing left to give. Make the choice today to protect your peace, honor your boundaries, and breathe deeply again. You deserve it. Saying no, it's such a simple word, yet it can feel impossibly hard to say, especially for those of us who genuinely want to help others. Turning someone down might feel like you're letting them down, but the truth is, saying no is one of the most powerful and respectful things you can do, for yourself and for them. Denzel Washington hits the nail on the head when he says, sometimes the best way to help others is to let them figure it out on their own. This might feel counterintuitive at first. After all, isn't helping others a sign of kindness? But here's the thing, kindness isn't about stretching yourself so thin that you lose sight of your own limits. True kindness includes respecting your boundaries and empowering others to take responsibility for their own lives. Let's pause and reflect. When was the last time you said yes when, deep down, you wanted to say no? How did it make you feel? Maybe you felt guilty because you didn't want to disappoint someone. Maybe you felt overwhelmed because you were already juggling too much. Or maybe you felt resentful because your yes came at the expense of your peace. These emotions are your mind's way of telling you something important: your boundaries were crossed. Denzel Washington reminds us, protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's necessary. Think about that for a moment. When you say no, you're not rejecting someone, you're choosing to honor your limits and protect your well-being. You're not pushing people away, you're creating space for what truly matters in your life. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be cold or dismissive. Saying no can be done with warmth, empathy, and respect. Imagine a friend asks you for help with something, but you're already overwhelmed with your own responsibilities. Instead of stretching yourself too thin, you could say, "I'd love to help, but I don't have the capacity to take this on right now." This way, you're being honest about your limits while still showing you care. Here's another way to think about it: every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your priorities, you're effectively saying no to something that does. You're trading your energy, your time, and your peace for something that might not truly matter to you. By learning to say no, you're reclaiming control over how you spend your time and energy. Saying no also allows others to grow. When you constantly step in to solve someone's problems, you might unintentionally prevent them from learning how to handle challenges on their own. Washington's wisdom reminds us that stepping back can sometimes be the most loving thing you can do. It's not about abandonment, it's about empowerment. So, how do you start saying no without feeling guilty? Begin by recognizing that no is a complete sentence. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your well-being. Practice saying it with confidence and kindness. Over time, you'll find that setting boundaries becomes easier, and you'll notice a significant improvement in your peace of mind. Take a moment now to reflect. Where in your life do you need to start saying no? Is there a commitment, a relationship, or a responsibility that's draining you instead of uplifting you? What's stopping you from setting that boundary? Remember, every time you say no to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to your peace, your growth, and your happiness. Denzel Washington's advice is clear: protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's necessary. By embracing the power of no, you're not only honoring yourself, you're creating space for the things and people that truly matter. It's time to let go of the guilt and take back your power. After all, your peace is worth it. Now, let's flip the script. While it's essential to protect your peace and set boundaries, helping the right people can be one of the most fulfilling and rewarding experiences in life. These are the individuals who truly value your efforts, reciprocate your kindness, and use your support as a stepping stone to grow and thrive. Denzel Washington puts it beautifully: the right people will lift you up, not weigh you down. They'll value your energy, not exploit it. Let that sink in. When you invest your time, energy, and compassion in relationships with people who appreciate and respect you, it creates a powerful ripple effect. Your efforts don't go unnoticed, they inspire, motivate, and lead to genuine growth. Think about a time when you helped someone who truly valued your support. Maybe it was a friend going through a tough time, who later came back to thank you and share how your words of encouragement helped them take the next step. Or perhaps it was a colleague who needed guidance and later acknowledged your mentorship as a key factor in their success. Those moments leave a lasting impact, don't they? When you help the right people, it's not just about what you give, it's about what you both gain. These relationships are reciprocal. They create a sense of balance and mutual respect that enriches both lives. You give them your time and energy, and in return, they give you gratitude, growth, and a shared sense of accomplishment. These are the relationships that feel light, energizing, and meaningful. But how do you identify the right people to help? Start by looking for those who are genuinely trying to better themselves. These individuals aren't just looking for a handout, they're looking for a hand up. They're willing to put in the work, take responsibility for their lives, and make the most of the opportunities you provide. They're not asking you to carry them, they're asking you to walk beside them as they climb their own mountain. Washington's wisdom challenges us to reevaluate how and where we invest our energy. He reminds us that helping the wrong people can leave us drained, but helping the right ones can leave us fulfilled. When you give to someone who values your support, the returns are priceless. You don't just see their growth, you feel it. Their success becomes your shared victory. Take a moment to reflect. Who in your life uplifts you and appreciates your efforts? Are you spending your energy on people who bring you joy, or are you stuck in cycles of one-sided relationships? Redirecting your focus to those who truly matter isn't selfish, it's necessary for cultivating a life filled with meaningful connections. Helping the right people doesn't mean you won't face challenges or tough moments. But when you know your energy is going to someone who values it, even the hard times feel worthwhile. There's a sense of purpose and fulfillment that comes with knowing you've contributed to someone's growth, and they've reciprocated with respect, gratitude, and love. Denzel Washington's words resonate deeply here: the right people will lift you up, not weigh you down. Surround yourself with those who inspire you as much as you inspire them. Seek out relationships that feel like partnerships, where both of you grow stronger together. Helping the right people isn't just rewarding, it's life-changing. It creates a cycle of positivity that fuels your soul and strengthens your bonds. So, ask yourself today, who in your life truly values your support? And how can you invest more deeply in those connections? When you give to the right people, the rewards aren't just felt, they're unforgettable. Denzel Washington's wisdom challenges us to take control of our energy and focus it where it matters most. But how do we do that? How do we make the shift from being overwhelmed by draining relationships to building a life of balance and peace? The answer lies in 3 actionable steps inspired by his profound advice. Let's explore them together. 1. Evaluate your circle. Take a moment to reflect on the people in your life. Who are the ones adding value, inspiring you, and supporting your growth? And who are the ones creating chaos, dragging you down, or constantly taking without giving back? It's not an easy question to answer, but it's a necessary one. Denzel Washington urges us to ask ourselves, are the people in your life lifting you up, or weighing you down? Think of your energy as a bank account. Are the people around you making deposits, encouraging you, celebrating your successes, and standing by you during tough times? Or are they making withdrawals, draining your time, testing your patience, and leaving you feeling empty? By evaluating your circle, you gain clarity about who truly deserves a place in your life and who might be holding you back. This doesn't mean you need to cut people out harshly, but it does mean being honest about the dynamics of your relationships. Surround yourself with those who uplift you, and gently distance yourself from those who don't. Remember, you have the right to protect your energy and focus on the people who genuinely value you. 2. Set clear boundaries. Boundaries are essential to maintaining balance and peace, but they can feel uncomfortable to set, especially if you're used to putting others first. Denzel Washington reminds us of a crucial truth: no is a complete sentence. It doesn't need to be followed by an explanation or apology. Setting boundaries isn't about being unkind, it's about being honest with yourself and others. Here's how you can start: the next time someone asks for your help, take a moment before answering. Ask yourself, do I have the time, energy, and resources to do this without sacrificing my own well-being? If the answer is no, be upfront. You could say something like, I'd love to help, but I can't take this on right now. This communicates your limits kindly but firmly, showing that you respect both your needs and theirs. Boundaries aren't just about saying no, they're about deciding how much time and energy you're willing to give and sticking to that decision. When you set clear boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. You also free up your mental space to focus on the things that truly matter to you. 3. Prioritize self-care. Finally, prioritize self-care. It's not selfish, it's essential. Think of self-care as refilling your tank. When you're running on empty, you can't give your best to anyone, including yourself. Denzel Washington puts it simply: you can't pour from an empty cup. Self-care looks different for everyone, so find what rejuvenates you. It could be reading a good book, exercising, meditating, spending time with loved ones, or even just taking a quiet moment to yourself. Whatever it is, make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Remember, self-care isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. When you take care of yourself, you're not only protecting your energy but also showing up as your best self for the people who truly matter. By prioritizing your well-being, you create a foundation for meaningful connections, greater focus, and lasting peace. Protecting your peace starts with these 3 steps: evaluating your circle, setting boundaries, and prioritizing self-care. These actions empower you to reclaim your time and energy, directing them toward the people and activities that align with your values. Take a moment to reflect on your life today. Who in your circle uplifts you, and who drains you? Where do you need to set a boundary, and what's stopping you? Finally, what's one small act of self-care you can commit to this week? Write it down, and take that first step. Denzel Washington's wisdom reminds us that protecting our peace isn't selfish, it's a gift to ourselves and those we love. By applying these steps, you're not just creating boundaries, you're building a life filled with purpose, positivity, and meaningful connections. Your energy is precious, spend it wisely. Denzel Washington's words resonate deeply: your time, your energy, your peace, they're gifts. Don't give them away to those who don't value them. These simple yet profound truths remind us of the power we hold in choosing how we invest ourselves and who we allow into our lives. Your energy is precious, your peace is priceless, and your time is irreplaceable. Why give such valuable gifts to people who don't appreciate them? You deserve better. You deserve to be surrounded by people who inspire you to grow, who uplift you when life gets tough, and who make you want to be the best version of yourself. These are the relationships worth nurturing. They add light to your life, not darkness; they strengthen you, not deplete you. But too often, we fall into patterns of giving our time and energy to the wrong people, those who drain us with negativity, take without giving, or fail to see the value of our efforts. It's not easy to admit, but the truth is, settling for less than you deserve comes at a great cost. It takes away from your ability to give to the relationships, goals, and passions that truly matter. So today, ask yourself, am I giving my energy to people who deserve it, or am I letting the wrong ones drain me? Reflect on your answer honestly. Think about the people in your life: are they lifting you up, or are they pulling you down? And if you realize there are changes you need to make, don't be afraid to make them. Change isn't easy, but protecting your peace is worth it. Set boundaries with those who don't value you. Prioritize the relationships that bring joy and growth to your life. Let go of guilt and embrace the fact that saying no to the wrong people means saying yes to yourself. Denzel's reminder is clear: your time, energy, and peace are gifts, treat them like treasures. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Instead, take charge of your energy, protect your peace, and surround yourself with people who value the incredible person you are. You owe that to yourself, and you're worth it. Now it's your turn. Think about one relationship in your life that needs boundaries. Share your thoughts in the comments. What's one thing you'll do today to protect your peace? Remember, this is a journey, and you're not alone. Together, we can create a community of empowered individuals who value their energy and choose kindness without compromising their own well-being. Thank you for joining us today on Motivation for Success. If this video resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment below. Remember, protecting your peace isn't just an act of self-care, it's an act of courage. Because when you protect your energy, you create space for the things that truly matter. Until next time, stay inspired, stay motivated, and stay true to yourself.